I'm European by heritage, so I'm a big hand vigorous gesturer. So it's good to know in terms of just how far I'm bringing my hands up. Hi, my name is Andy Rougeot, and I'm running for mayor of Denver because I love this city. I think it's the greatest city in the country. It's the city where I settled down after I got out of the Army. I was initially stationed down in Fort Carson in Colorado Springs. And then my ex-girlfriend, now wife, moved into Denver. And after I did a deployment to Afghanistan with the Rangers, she said, if we're going to make this work out, because I wore her down, said, we're going to move in together in Denver. So I started doing the commute from Denver down to the Springs every day. After I got out of the Army, went and got my MBA from Harvard, came back, I took over a small business fixing gates for self-storage units. The type of business where at the end of the day, I'd be covered in grease from digging holes and mixing concrete. And that same woman, my wife, wouldn't let me hug her until I'd taken a shower. I've also got two little girls, a girl named Harlan and a girl named Acadia, so a 3-year-old and an almost 6-month-old. So lights of my life. It's a city that's let me build that family, put down roots, build a business. So I moved around all the time as a kid. I was born in Canada, moved to England, Spain, Connecticut, Maryland, Maine, before going to college in Maine. Then Army moves me in Georgia, Arizona, Colorado, Afghanistan, back to Colorado. So someone who never really put down roots anywhere. So finding a city where you can put down those roots. And the most, you forget about the mountains. If you're here every day, you look to the west, it just sort of becomes the background. But coming back from Afghanistan, take your flights, you take a C-17 from Afghanistan to Germany, to Georgia. Then I took a plane from Georgia to Colorado, and seeing the mountains again for the first time, coming in from DIA. I can't remember if it was sunset or sunrise. It was coming at a time when there was must have been sunset, where it was just beautiful. And I was almost in tears driving, coming back to this city and like, this is my home. This is a place where I want to put down roots. This is beautiful. And just having that image in my mind, I still try to remind myself to look up at the mountains every once in a while. I've got two little girls who I deeply love, and you see what that future looks like. I mean, if you have children yourself, you know that feeling. If you do anything to keep them from being hurt, you live and die by their happiness. And having to see my daughter again in tears because of someone who is using our park as a restroom, and knowing, by the way, that person is a son too. That person is a son whose parents haven't talked to him in years, I'm sure, who is dealing with an addiction, or he's a father, and he's a father whose kids haven't talked to him. It's just, you think of that chain of horror and a sadness that's being caused because we're not doing what we need to do as a city. If I had 3 words to describe Denver, it would be energy, beautiful, and frontier. You think of the history of Denver and the type of people it's brought. It's people who want to build something, people who know there's sort of this beautiful future. It's not someone who's lived in lots of different places. There's a different feel to the East Coast, for example. There's a different feel to Europe. There's an energy of like, you can build a future here. And it's not tabula rasa, but it is still something where there's room for growth. And you don't get that feel in other parts of the country. That's something I love about the city. It's tied to our history. And as a young man with a young family, built a business here, I feel like I live it every day. So 3 words to describe me would be father, veteran, small business owner. I think our mayor and our city council have failed our city. They've failed us on homelessness, crime, and the cost of housing. For crime, we've seen some horrible statistics. You can talk about a tripling of murders, being one of the car theft capitals of the country. What speaks to me as a dad is the father and the daughter. They're driving home down I-25 South, and the dad looks in his rearview mirror and he sees 2 cars going 40 miles per hour over the speed limit. This is on, I think, a Tuesday at 7 p.m. Driver's side window, front windshield shattered into glass. So we're street racers shooting at each other right by a mile high in the middle of our city. Luckily, the dad and daughter were safe, but we had multiple people killed last year by street racers in our city. Homelessness is out of control. We live in the Highlands. We bought the house before we had the girls, but we've got a little park there, which I don't know if you have kids, but it's amazing to have that park where you can just go right out the back door into it. And I'll take my 3-year-old in my arms, we'll go out our gate, see the swings, and she loves the swings so much. Smile lights up on her face, but we'll see a man with his pants around his ankles using his restroom. So I'm running for mayor to fight for Denver's future by enforcing our camping ban, by adding 400 police officers, by making housing more affordable in our city.